Hi, I'm Adria Vasil, and I do the Ecoholic column for Now magazine. It was 2006 when I first wrote about an ingredient called triclosan. And triclosan is an antibacterial chemical that you'll find in all sorts of cleaning products, in acne face wash, in Colgate Total. It's really in so many different areas of our lives. And what it does is it kills bacteria really well. It's good at its job, except the problem is that it actually creates antibiotic resistance and can help create superbugs in the process. And not only that, but around that time we started finding out that, they keep telling us, companies are telling us that this chemical will dissolve and disappear and biodegrade in the environment, but how come it's actually turning up everywhere downstream? It's turning up in breast milk, it's turning up in wildlife, and it's turning up in the sewage sludge that farmers spread on fields as a fertilizer. And I remember having a woman write into me and say, I'm curious to know what you think about this product out of BC. It's a cleaning product. Can you take a look at it and give me your opinion? And so I did, and it turns out that, the company did make some greener products. They also produced some products that contain triclosan. And so I said to her, I don't really trust a company that calls itself green and is using this antibacterial chemical. So she passed this on to the company and let them know this is why she was not going to support their products. And the company freaked out. I mean, they completely lashed out at me and said that, I was a quack, I didn't know what I was doing, I had no scientific credibility, I didn't have the credentials to be, I'm not a chemist, and so how could I say that this product is bad? And there's no proof, it's biodegradable, etc., etc. And what's interesting in that moment was, to me it was kind of suspicious that they were so defensive, because I've criticized so many products over the years, but I guess maybe what's surprising is that not more companies have freaked out. At the time, it did really unnerve me, because I felt, even though I knew my data was right, and I wasn't just making this up out of thin air like he seemed to, the company seemed to imply, you still get anxious at that particular moment when that first kind of backlash comes in, because you think, let me go double check. Let me make sure that I was really, really right about it. And, I felt good about my facts. And I, honestly, what I said to, my response to the company was, listen, you don't have to be a chemist to read data and to actually see the results coming out of, Cornell, out of Harvard, out of all these universities saying this chemical is bad. So after a moment of being a little nerved, I sat back and said, okay, no, I'm sticking to my guns on this. By 2009, the Canadian Medical Association came out with a press release saying, we want triclosan banned now. We want the federal government to get it out of consumer products today, because it's creating antibiotic resistance, and we cannot afford to have more people that are antibiotic resistant in this country. And at that moment, I almost wanted to, email the press release directly to the company and say, But, at that point, you have to be the bigger person and just maybe laugh quietly with your colleagues and say, yeah, you know what, we got it right. And the sad part is that the federal government still hasn't made a move on triclosan. It's on their list of chemicals that they're investigating, and will hopefully restrict over the next coming years. You get to be that watchdog that alerts people to, when something isn't right. And that's what I love about the job. And you won't always get praise for doing that. You will get some flack, especially from the people you're criticizing. But you've got to stand strong behind your data, and just hope that someday someone with some influence will actually be paying attention and make some change happen.